Check, check. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate you all being here. Battling the weather. It's not too bad yet. Hopefully the rain pushes lots of people in here to get some great training. My name's Todd Stock, and I'm with RE/MAX and Success in Real Estate. And you guys are in for a real treat today for some great training and a lot of great ideas. Appreciate everybody taking the time to be here. A couple things I want to mention before I introduce our speaker for the day. Number one, I got lots of people I want to thank for today. Number one, I want to thank Hallmark Home Mortgage for helping us make events like this possible. So appreciate everything that they do for us. They got their digital team here. Tina and Mark and crew is here. They've been big supporters of us in terms of providing great training and content to the real estate community. So thanks to you guys. Big shout out to my team, Melissa Schneider, Jacqueline Myers, and staff. I don't make these things go. They do. All the cool stuff you see put out, the promotions, the logistics, the venues, the registrations, they make it all happen. So big shout out to Melissa and Jacqueline. They never like for me to say that, but they're back here in the corner hiding. But they make it all go. We have some, we're live streaming the event today, so we have folks from our Goshen and Warsaw markets. We also have some other offices, RE/MAX at the Crossing. Big shout out to them down in Indianapolis. They're watching the event today. He just texted me the name of the other office. Ryan texted me from Muncie. Big shout out to Ryan. They are watching in Muncie. So glad you guys are here. Appreciate you taking the time. I've got just a few remarks I want to say before I make the introduction. I'm hearing this a little bit of collective pause right now in the real estate market. Rates are changing. There's a war in Ukraine. The economy's great, but everybody's concerned. The market's been really hot. Some people are concerned it's been overheated for almost 10 years, especially the last 3 or 4 or 5. Inventory's at historic lows. Is anybody in the room concerned about where things are headed? Or is it so crazy it's going to be fine? For some of us who've been around for a while, we've been through some real tough times in real estate. And you've all heard this, the pendulum swings, right, in the economy and in business. And for all the veterans here, they know this. But a couple things, and I'm going to I have a video coming out on this in a few days. But things do shift and change. What's required of you as professionals changes. And so I had 3 things I wanted to share with everybody today that will put you in a better position in terms of your mindset to move forward in the market and where we're headed. And the first thing is you need to continue to educate yourself. We have a saying in our business, the more you learn, the more you earn. But a mentor had said to me once, knowledge equals confidence and ignorance equals fear. And so as we move into a market that may shift, it may decelerate, it may slow down, I think it's still going to be good, but it's going to require different things of us. And so educating yourself, working on yourself is going to become more critical than it's been. There's over 1.6 million realtors right now in NAR. Just here in Allen County, and I know not everybody here is from Allen County. There are over 1,600 realtors and just over 200 listings. So how competitive is that market, right? Really, you all feel it. You live it every day. It's like you're on call. You get a call to go on a showing. If you don't go, they're going to drop you like a bad habit, and they're on to somebody else. So the quality of life for realtors is tougher. We preach and we talk a lot about building a business by referral. Building a business where you go deeper and you invest in relationships, emotional connections with your people, and we're moving into a market where it's going to matter even more where there's so much competition. But educate yourself. Come to events like this. Go to webinars, listen to podcasts, get around people that can have an impact on you and your business and share ideas. Go to roundtables, find people to network with. There are people, I guarantee, just in this room or in your office, wherever you're coming from, that have experienced things and are doing things that could help you become extremely successful. Just 1 or 2 great ideas can change your whole year and really change the trajectory of your business. And so you need to tap into that, but it doesn't just happen on its own. You have to do that. You have to take time to educate yourself. So the philosophy that we really teach on building a business today is all about that as well. You're going to love that, but take the time to continue to educate yourself. Another saying I always have is, your world won't change unless you change. So unless If you go to work harder on yourself than you do your job, you can have an amazing career. But you need to work on yourself. I just shared that with somebody last week. So continue to sharpen your own saw, and you'll be amazed at what happens in your own business. So being here today is all about that. The second thing I want to mention is just have a plan. It doesn't have to be complicated, it doesn't have to be long, but you have to be intentional about where you're headed with your business. New skill sets may be required, like a seller follow-up program. Who the hell needs one of those right now, right? Put it on the market and get ready, buckle up. Well, guess what? As that slows down, sellers are going to have expectations are up here, even if the average market time goes to a month or 2 months. Guess what? They're going to wonder why their home didn't sell in 3 days. And it's going to require you to have great social skills, soft skills, manage expectations. New things are going to be required. Negotiating great pricing. That can be difficult now in another realm, but you need to have skill sets to do that. How can you articulate that to a client? Creating urgency with buyers and sellers. You have that with buyers right now, maybe not so much sellers. What are the skill sets that are going to be involved there for you to do that? But you need a plan. How many calls a week do you need to make? How many contacts? How many lunches? How many coffees? How many times are you connecting with your database at a high level and investing in them? Those are the things that are going to matter. So it can be simple plans. I talk to somebody here every week, and they have some really simple goals, and I love them. They're call 3 people every day and make 2 contacts personally every week. It's rock solid. If you did that every week, all year long, and just did that, consistency always wins. So that's another message I want to share. Have a really simple plan that you can execute on and start incorporating some new skill sets, because that's where we're headed, and get ahead of it. The last thing I want to mention is, sounds so simple, but take action. How many people procrastinate too long in here? Overthink things. Don't just jump into it. They have great ideas and they don't act on it. You're going to get some great information in here. And every time we do an event, I always say, if you just get 1 or 2 ideas from this event, the morning was not wasted. But what really matters is that you go take some action on that. I would say this. You need to learn to fail faster and fail more. I say this a lot. When you see somebody that maybe is where you want to go or aspire to be, they're having a lot of success maybe in an area of their life that you want. The truth is, they're also having more failure than you are in their life. You don't get one without the other. So people that have what you want or attain certain levels of success are having a lot more of everything. More successes, more wins, and more losses. But they manage the losses well. So be willing to just jump in and go for it. That's when you really start to gain valuable experience. You go on a listing and you botch it up. You say the wrong thing. You would have done it differently. It would be better to act and go quickly, get the appointment, and learn and move on and go get another one than to sit back and take 3 or 4 days or a week and tell them you need to prepare and then come back and find out they sold it to their nephew or somebody else got in there and listed the home. It's better to take action. So develop a strong bias towards taking action in your life and in your business. And if you do that, you're going to find that you're going to be much further ahead than if you move slow and cautiously. You need to be smart. You need to prepare. I'm not saying not do that. Don't be reckless. But you need to develop a bias in your life and your business to take action consistently and often. And if you do, you're going to get ahead of things in this market and where it's headed. Because I believe as we move forward, whether it's in the next 6 months or year or 2, there are going to be people that won't be wanting to do this anymore because it's going to require more of us to stay in the business and have success. I think that's a great thing. I think that's dynamite because we want pros in the business, people committed and all in that serve the client at a high level, and then it's a better life for you. So that's what these events are all about. I appreciate everybody being here a lot. When I say you're in for a real treat, so today we have flown in Pete Grosso from Long Island, New York, a.k.a. PocketPete. I'm not going to tell you why he goes by PocketPete. He's going to tell you all that. But I will tell you a few things about this guy. I've gotten to know him probably in the last 6 months or a year. He's good friends with several other owners that I network and mastermind with. He's only been in the business, I think, just over 5 years. He's already doing over 100 deals a year, all repeat business and by referral only, which is the hallmark of building a sustainable long-term business. You can spend a lot of money marketing, but if you want to have a good quality of life and great people to work with that give you the benefit of the doubt, that refer you more people and you want longevity, it's the only way to do business the right way. So he has 2 kids. He's got a son and a daughter. They're 7 and 8. He's going to tell you all about them too. I have lots more I could share with you, but he's been in the business just over 5 years. He's a team leader. He owns 3 Remaxes in Long Island. They're number 1 in Long Island, and he's a dynamo. So he's going to share a lot of great stuff with you today. He warned us he's going to be moving around a lot, and he's going to be really engaged, so get ready. But without any further ado, Pete Grosso, PocketPete, the floor is yours. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Good morning, everybody. Ooh, got some energy. My name is Peter Grosso. I'm the broker owner of Remax Integrity Leaders. And before we get started, since you have this energy, my daughter's birthday, her 8th birthday was yesterday. So can we shoot a quick video saying happy birthday to Stella? All right. Hold on one second. Stella, I got a lot of people that want to say something to you. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, Stella!
All right. Thanks, guys. Okay. Good morning. Okay, so like Todd said, I've been in the business seemingly a short time. This is going on my 6th year in real estate. I got my real estate license just about 6 years ago. I can't stay down here. Hi. So I got my real estate license just about 6 years ago, but I'm going to go back a little bit and talk about where I started, how I got into real estate, because over a decade ago, I was a union iron worker in Brooklyn, Queens, and Long Island. If you don't know what an iron worker is, those are the guys that, you see that picture of people sitting on a beam over Rockefeller Center? Yeah. That was me. And I thought I was going to be the president of Local 361. That was my goal. Even while I was an apprentice, I knew I was going to run that. But when I was working on Citi Field, I was working on Met Stadium, I was walking across a beam, and there was some decking laid out across it, and there was a rope over it, and it looked like it was tied down, and as I was walking over that decking, it fell, and I fell with it. And I fell 18 feet to a lower roof. I was very lucky, because if I fell 5 feet in a different direction, I would have fell over 100 feet. I broke my ankle, my leg, and my back. And I was at the second highest point of the stadium, not knowing where my life was going. I felt I knew something was wrong. And they actually had to use a crane to lift me up and drop me down on the pitcher's mound of Citi Field. So I was on the pitcher's mound of Citi Field. I didn't even get drafted. And that was my last day as an iron worker, and I spent about 3.5 years having surgeries. Hi. I spent about 3.5 years having surgeries. I walked with a cane for about that amount of time. And during that time, I had no purpose. I had no value to the world. And when you feel like that, it's crushing. And I needed to figure out where I belonged and what I needed to do with my life so I could feel proud of myself. And it was right around the time the financial crisis happened. And when the financial crisis happened, I was curious and I had time. Ironworkers do one or two things. They either, when they get hurt, they either drink or they drink. I didn't really drink. So I had to figure out what to do with myself. I ordered economics textbooks from Harvard and Yale University. I found in iTunes at the time, they were sharing their classes on iTunes for their students, and I hacked in. And I just taught myself economics. I listened to Schiller of the Case-Shiller Index about the housing market and how they view it. And I became so interested in real estate that I knew this was something that I was going to do. So I did it. And when I was good enough, well enough, and I put a couple dollars together, I started to I had this really great theory, and it was a great theory, by the way. I had a really great theory about where I should put money because of everything I learned during that period of time. And I flew to Detroit, and I started investing in Detroit. And I was buying houses for $500, fixing them up, renting them, and I thought I was going to travel the country and own a house in every state in the country. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the amount of mistakes I made in Detroit and in the other places, but I made a lot of mistakes. There's a difference between having a right idea and implementation. And that's where failure comes in. That's where Todd is exactly right. You have to fail your way to success. And I stand here in front of you, one of the greatest failures that's ever existed. Nobody can outfail me. I will fail and move again, fail and move again, fail and move again, and that's why I'm here. And I beg you all to do the same. So I'm trying to travel and own a house and a rental in every state in the country, and then I had my daughter. I had Stella. And when Stella was born, I didn't want to leave. So I told myself I can invest in Long Island. So I went around to different brokerages. I got my real estate license. I went around to different brokerages and interviewed them, and I really loved the RE/MAX. I love the broker at RE/MAX, and really, I love RE/MAX, but it's about your leadership, right? It's about the people that you can connect with. It's about the people that can guide you. That's where it is, and that's why I love Todd. So I loved RE/MAX, and I joined, and I was just, like I said, I was just going to invest. I wasn't going to be a realtor. Why would I be a realtor? And then there was an award ceremony 3 weeks later, and a bunch of people were getting awards, and I didn't get anything, and I didn't like it. So I decided, I'm going to do this thing. And I dedicated 80 hours a week to this thing I've never done before, made a whole hell of a lot of mistakes, tried a bunch of stuff that either didn't work or I hated, until I found the thing that fit me and worked. Those two things have to converge, right? Because we have to do this for the rest of our lives, because no one quits real estate. They just slow it down, right? We never leave it. We all die out of the business, right? So you have to be able to converge those two things. And I found a system that works. My first year, I sold 7 houses, which is a decent amount of, I don't know how many houses you guys sell, but in where I live, it's a decent amount of houses for a first-time agent, for a first-year agent. My second year, I sold 47. By the end of the second year, I took over that RE/MAX and became the broker owner of that location. By the end of my 4th year, I bought 2 more. And I now run 3 RE/MAXes, sell about 100 houses a year personally, and my brokerage sold 706 houses last year. I'm telling you this not to show off or tell you that I am fantastic, which I am, but I am fantastic because I took the actions that made me fantastic. Not because there's something special in me, it's just because I was delusional enough to believe I could do it. And I want to impart that, more than this, that I'm about to tell you about my system. I'm going to tell you everything I know about my system and answer any questions, and feel free to interrupt at any time. And I think we can also, Todd, we can also interrupt in the internet too, right? The people watching. So interrupt at any time. But if I leave you here today just telling you that the limit is in you, then we're good. We can end it here. Because I believe that wholeheartedly. That there's nothing you can't do as long as you embrace failure and you just keep moving forward and trying things. So hello. My name is Peter Grosso, PocketPete. I am PocketPete because while I was trying to develop my system and my style, I built a website. And that web developer came to me and said, Pete, why don't we make an app? I said, okay, keep talking. He said, we can make an app where people can search for houses on your app, and if they like something, it'll go to you and you'll be able to see what they're doing. I said, I hate it. I can't compete with Zillow. Why would I do that? Leave me alone. And then at 2 in the morning, that very night, this is not a joke, I just sat up, I go, I got it. I've always been the guy who has the guys. My whole life, I just didn't know how to utilize it. I'm the person you call, I don't know how to do, I have no skills, by the way. I can't fix anything, I don't know how to do anything, but I know all the people. So if you need there's something wrong with your electric, actually I got a text last night at 10 o'clock, my electrical panel's not working. I don't know what to do, but they know I know who to give, right? So if you need a funeral director, I'm your guy. There's no person I don't have. So I developed an app based around the person that I am. So inside of my app are all the people that I trust. The app, PocketPete, starts, if you're my client, with all the people you'll need in the real estate transaction. If you need an inspector, if you need an attorney, if you know, whatever you need during that whole process, they're there. But I don't want it to stop there because I'm the guy. I want to keep them, right? I want them with me for the rest of their lives. So, contractors, you want to do your taxes? Arnie Hertz. And so on and so on. Restaurants, you want to know where to get the best meatballs? You go to Bottolatos. And if you show the PocketPete app, you get a free macaroni salad with any sandwich. So now, I'm always with you. I'm always in your pocket. I'm PocketPete. And it started as just the app, but I noticed that it stuck. So I started introducing myself as PocketPete. Hello, everybody, PocketPete. Broker owner, Remax integrity leaders. So every video, I just would say, hello, everybody, this is PocketPete. And it started to become who I was. Now people, and this is strange, they don't know my name is Pete, but they know me as PocketPete, okay? So I took that as the beginning of building out my brand. But a logo, you see it up there, a logo, and this is the PocketPete shirt. This is the PocketPete onesie. A logo is not your brand. This is where people get things very confused. Your logo is a reminder of your brand. When you look at a logo, when you look at PocketPete, this is the coolest thing in the whole world, by the way. Before I leave, I just want to make sure I get a picture of me standing next to this. Your logo just reminds the world, it's shorthand for what your brand is. Your brand is the experience. It's the thing that happens uniquely from you and your company or your systems. That's what it is. So when you look at the PocketPete logo, you're reminded of all the things that happen, that you're going to see that happen when you work with PocketPete. So what I want every one of you to do is ask yourself, where do I stand out? What is my brand? What are the things that are non-negotiable that happen with every single transaction that is unique to you? I would get at least 6 things that happen no matter what, so that this is repeatable. Because when you get a referral, they're referring you because of the experience that you gave. So if they're referring you for the experience that you gave that is part of your brand, you better give that experience every single time. And it has to be non-negotiable. These things happen no matter what. And you have to think about it in a way that is expandable. Because when you implement this system and it works for you, and I don't mean this exact system, this is going to give you ideas, okay? When you implement this referral system and your business explodes, can you still do these 6 things? How do you implement these 6 things so this experience doesn't change when you go from selling 15 houses to 200 houses, right? It can't be I knit them a sweater, because you can't knit 200 sweaters, right? But I'll show you what I do and how I implement it and leverage a system to give an experience that stands out, it's unique, creates advocacy in both clients and local businesses. That's the goal. The goal is to create a triangle of magnetism of business. That's the goal. And to be able to provide an experience that people talk about. So, hello. So let's talk about what happens when I get a listing appointment. Okay, I'm gonna walk through the whole process of what I do and why, and again, feel free to interrupt. So I get a listing call. Somebody wants to sell their house and they want to meet me. If they want to meet me tomorrow, step 1 is make the appointment, show up tomorrow, right? I walk in with a branded bakery box full of cannoli. Do you guys know what cannolis are, by the way? Okay. What? I have some treats, don't worry, don't worry. So I show up with a bakery box branded with my face on it, full of cannolis, okay? And right, what'd you say? Sold, right? We're done. So I show up to that appointment bearing gifts. Why? Because my mother told me never show up empty-handed, right? So why are you all showing up empty-handed? You think you're going to teach them about business and how wonderful you are. This is their home. This is personal. They've been there 25 years. They have plans and goals and dreams, and you want to sit down and break bread with them and get to know them. Stop selling. Start guiding. Sit down with them. Bring something and brand it or logo it. Because once you've established that personal connection, your chances of getting a listing are astronomical. I show up, I bring cannolis, 2 other bastards don't. Who wins? Right? Also, what I do and what I suggest, especially if you're going to implement this nurturing system, is never look at the house. The house is actually the least important part of this. You know what it's worth within $10,000. You know you do, right? How old is the kitchen? How old is the bath? Are there any problems? Yada, yada, yada. It's worth X. You know the range it's in, right? But you walk in, you get an opportunity to do 2 things. Build that connection we just talked about, and establish authority that you're the knowledgeable person to handle it and guide them through it. So as soon as one second, let me just get this thought out and I'll answer your question. So as soon as I walk in, they say, oh, can I show you the house? I go, actually, let's sit down. Let me talk to you, and I want to get to know what the goals are, so I totally understand how to guide you. And I will sit down with them for an hour, hour and a half before I even know what the rest of the house looks like. And by the time it's over, I'm having a guiding conversation, not a sales conversation, where they're ready to sign. We forgot to look at the house.
But do you not appreciate the fact that so many people are so proud, so over the top?
I am.
They want to share it with you.
I want to get around there, but here's the problem. The initial conversation, so he's saying, am I ignoring the fact that they're so proud of their house and they want to show it off and they want to show it to me? But I know when I'm establishing a connection with somebody, with a relationship with somebody, it happens this way, the way you and I are talking right now. I feel it. You feel it?
Oh, yeah.
So that doesn't happen when they're walking and you're looking at their back and they go, oh, look at this, we did this, and oh, that's nice. So we're establishing a relationship with two things are happening. Now they're leading, right? They're the leaders. How are you the authority? How are you the person that I'm supposed to trust when I'm walking around telling you about my stuff, right? So I want to establish psychologically that I'm the person they need to trust, that I understand everything, and I'm going to establish that first, and secondarily, you're going to show off your stuff. Because I don't want to talk to somebody's back. I want to talk to somebody's eyes. I want to build that relationship, build that rapport. So I want to do that. I do want to walk around. But by the time I'm walking around, it's over. I want it to be over. I want it to be where I can pick the commission because they're not going with anybody else. I bought cannolis, right? So, and I do this for buyers too. I don't care if you met them off Zillow or they're your cousins or whatever. Have them sit down first. Tell them you want to guide them through this whole process, and it can be complicated and emotional, and it's better off if we sit down and go over the whole process so I can prepare you before it's emotional on what it's going to take and what we need to do and how we need to view each step of the process so you're totally prepared. And now again, you're establishing authority, you're establishing that you're the knowledge expert, and you're building that rapport. Where like if they see, and you can guide them, preempt any of the things that happen at the home inspection, however listings work here, you preempt the things. They go, here's what happens. A lot of people think this, but here's how it actually is. So that when they get to that moment in the inspection, when the roof has 3 years left and they want you to get a brand new roof, and then you say, no, that's not how things work around here. Now it's adversarial because in the emotional moment. When you're sitting down, you're going, here's how it typically works. If there's a roof and this happens, and if the boiler, this is how we view these things in the inspection, and typically, here's how we can alleviate, and here's the risk and reward of everything we do. Now, they'll remember that, and it's unemotional. So you're able to preempt any of those stress points, because every stress point where they feel like you're the adversary, you're weakening that referral process, right? So you always want to be the person that it feels on their side, and a lot of times you have to preempt the emotion in those moments. So I always try to go over all the things that naturally come up constantly, so that it's in their mind and I already told them about it, not when they're all stressed. Where I live, before you go to contract, you do an inspection. I know it's very different in the rest of the country. But what I do is, at every point that I'm connecting with them, and so we help them buy a house, we have the sit down, we make the offers, we get an accepted offer, now it's time for the inspection. I want to, at every point, create an experience. I want this to feel like akin to a wedding or some other big event. This is a big thing for their lives, so I want to do something at each point so that they feel like I appreciate that and I'm part of that. Because, weddings happen like once to 3 times in a lifetime. So, just much like houses. So, at the inspection, I always bring a branded notebook. I call it the PocketPete Inspection Recollection. And some food. I always bring food. That's who I am. That's what I do. But what happens here is at the inspection recollection, they follow the inspector around. They're learning stuff. And what I'll tell them is, you're going to love my inspector. And I get to preempt during that sit down with the buyers or sellers that they're better off with my people, right? I get to do that sales pitch as well. So I talk about the inspection and go, you're going to love my inspector. He is amazing. Not only will he tell you whether or not the house is going to fall down, but he'll also teach you how to own the house. He's going to talk to you about the air conditioning unit, and he's going to say, well, because he knows way too much about everything, so there's so much detail, but he's like, this air conditioning unit, it was built in 2014, it was manufactured in Wisconsin, and it's in great condition, but what you want to do is each winter you want to cover it, but not all the way to the bottom, because you need air to flow through, and so, he just keeps talking, right? So they're taking out the notebook, and they're taking notes on how to own their house throughout the whole process. So now this sticks with them, and I'm top of mind, right? When we get to the next phase, which is contracts, which you guys can figure out, you guys do contracts first, and then it's contingent on if the inspection's okay. Is that how this works? So maybe if you utilize this system at this point, you send this after the contingency's okay. Does anything happen after the contingency's okay, or you're just in contract? You just say everything's fine, or there has to be an amendment?
You get a 50-page report that comes back with 5 bad things and 42 small.
Right. So let's say they say we'll credit you $1,000 towards the roof. They amend the contract, and then okay. So I guess if I was here, I would send this then when everything was successful. But what I'll do is I send out a under contract box. Because now here's where the important magic begins. Because you want to create an experience for the people that you just put under contract, but you also want to go out and get more business. You don't have time to keep the coddle going, right? And they missed the coddle. They thought you guys were going to be together forever, right? They miss you. So during that missing process, while you want to go out and get more business and they still want to hug you, we have to find a middle ground, right? So during that middle ground, things start happening. And it starts with the under contract box. I send a box that's branded, has a nice saying in the back, time to pack, thank you. And in this box, first there'd be a handwritten note right on top. My system forgot to pack that part, but that's what would happen. Okay. Then I have a wooden pen in this box for them to sign their deed or whatever, just to have a nice wooden pen. It says, making tomorrow better than today. Congrats, PocketPete team. And inside of the pen, actually I got 2 wooden pens, new day. I'm very careful to not choose words that don't overlap on every circumstance, right? So if it's a divorce, it's a new day, right? Right? Everything is going to be okay. It's a new day, right? So we make tomorrow better, because it is. Whatever's happening, whatever you're doing, the reason why they're selling is because it's going to make tomorrow better than today. So I just want to point that out. That's what we did. We made their tomorrow better. We have Hershey bars. It says on the contract. Has a little something nice to say in the back. I'll make these moments smoother and a little sweeter. Peter Grosso, Remax Integrity Leaders. Then, this is my favorite, Hershey Kisses with PocketPete at the bottom. And then under it is the who you gonna call page. And these are all the phone numbers they're gonna need throughout the process that they're gonna hang on their fridge or wherever they're gonna put it, that you're gonna always be in front of them. And it says all these numbers are in the PocketPete app as well. But these are all the numbers that they're gonna need. And then, obviously, PocketPete's back. So now, this is an exciting moment that you just made more exciting. They just went under contract. They're not mad at you yet. They're not frustrated yet. They don't know. They're not ready to say what's going on, why aren't we closing, what's happening, what are they doing on the other side. That moment hasn't come yet, right? But you're increasing the moment where you're not the bad guy, right? That they are so excited that you care, that you're on the contract, you can go make money, but you're still putting the effort in. You still wrote a handwritten note about what was special about the transaction or their lives or their goals so that we build a deeper rapport, so that they're talking about it, so that this is sitting in their kitchen when people come over. You want to be a topic. You want to be in topic. And I'll say one more thing about the gift. So what I'll do is I left that listing appointment, or if even worse, let's say I have a listing appointment that I got on Saturday that isn't until next Sunday. And they're meeting 2 other agents. Now, if I get in front of them, I got it, right? Right? I got it. But what if I don't get in front of them? What if somebody finds out their cousin Ned is a real estate agent? He sold 3 houses last year. He's a dynamo. And by the time Sunday comes around, he's gone, right? So we still got to sweeten him up. So immediately, as soon as I hang up the phone, I order a box of cookies to be sent to their house. I want to guilt these people into seeing me. How can we not have this appointment? This guy sent this giant box of cookies. We have to at least hear him out. I need to get in that room, right? So either before or after, I will send this. And I send these amazing branded, logoed PocketPete cookies. Hold that. It's fine, we got plenty here. And it comes with a little sticker and a handwritten note. I sent this to Todd, actually. And I wrote, I appreciate this opportunity to show your brokerage what has helped me create the life that I wanted for myself. I hope I can make a difference in someone's life when I get that opportunity. Now, you write something like that to the person that you've had a meaningful conversation with about their goals, and you say, can't wait to be a part of this next chapter of his life. I want to be a part of this journey with you. They're going to wait. I'm going to have that meeting on Sunday, and then I'm going to close it. So what I would say is find a company like, and you can use them, it's just they're on Long Island. They mailed it here. But I would find a company that does something like this. And what I do is, I had these, I don't write notes. I actually cannot physically write notes. My hands don't work that way. When I was a kid, they tried to help. They couldn't help me. They had these 4-pound pens to try to help me control my hands. I can't write notes, but handwritten notes go out daily from me. And what I do is I created these cards, and I give them to the cookie lady, and I give her the stickers, and she makes the cookies. She puts these on there. Ooh, she puts this in there. And I text her the name, the address, and what I want to say. And they handwrite it in. So that you want to stop every friction point that keeps you from doing the things you know you should do. Right? Because that's what we know we need to do. We know we got to write the notes. We know we got to mail the thing. But for me to write the note, get it to her, or put a box together, or bake the cookies, it's got to be a text message. It's got to be something so simple that you can systemize it and make sure you do it. Because how many people here already thinking of something that they were supposed to do, they didn't do it, now they feel guilty. Yeah. So you have to systemize it in a way that makes it nice and simple, okay? So I just send her a text, and I send her like 10, 12 texts a week. Then this is the person, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes she'll go, your grammar's terrible, fix the sentence. And then it goes out, and my business grows. So feel free to use Cookie Bites and Bombs, they're wonderful. But I'm sure there's a company here that you can not only do this with, but build a rapport with. because the goal for you is to meet and grow with local businesses. This is the most important sentence I'm going to say to you. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. Okay? The more hands you shake, the more money you make. And we all know, we're all realtors. We sold 706 houses last year, right? January 1st, I woke up, I go, it was a fluke. I'm going out of business tomorrow. It was all an accident, right? So it's not just a realtor feeling. Nicole from Cookie Bites and Bombs feels that way too. So when I call Nicole and go, hey, I want to connect you to my audience, I want to put you in front of my clients, and I want to share you, she wants to reciprocate, right? So now I created an advocate. She's now buying a building, right? I created an advocate out of Nicole from Cookie Bites and Bombs. And endless amounts of other people. So I'm bringing experience, and it's paying for itself because she's giving me people too, right? Any questions? How am I doing? Okay, thanks. All right, so now we sent the under contract box. We want to create the circumstance where, how long does it take to close a house here? 30 days, okay. For me, it takes about 2 months is a good time frame, really 2 to 3 months to close. Yeah, a little bit less now that rates are up because the refis are helping processing the underwriting with the loans. But what I want to do is I want to stay top of mind during the period of time that they're thinking about real estate, because they're packing, they're worried, they're stressed, they've got to figure out what to do. If they're buyers, they're doing the paperwork. If they're sellers, they're just sitting around going, when is this happening, right? And they have this thing, it's called the reticulating activator. The reticulating activator is something that says your brain finds and connects with things that are top of mind. So if you just bought a Ford Focus, all of a sudden you're driving around and you're saying, oh, that's a Ford Focus, where you were blind to that at the time, right? Well, this is their real estate time. So during this reticulating activator time, I'm so proud I know this term, by the way. You want to be top of mind and create an experience that they're talking about. So whenever real estate comes up, whenever they hear the word, they're going, oh my God, you'll never believe what my realtor did for me. And for me, here's what I did. I wanted to create, like I said, an experience, and I understand that 2 things are happening. They're anxiously waiting for this process to happen. They want to know what you're doing. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're stressed out, and I want to get them out of the house and have them have some experiences. So I went across Long Island, and I built connections with local businesses. And I created this weekly thing that I send to them where week 1, in the mail, they get a gift voucher to go bowling. It's cross-branded with the local bowling alley, and they get 10 free games for a family of 5, and they can use this to get out of the house and relax a little bit, okay? The following week, they get 2 free beers and 2 free slices at Gino's Pizza. I want to stay top of mind. I want this to be in their kitchen. Gino wants to sell them pizza, right? They want to be known, but to more people. Then, the following week, I send them the Bottolatos, the place where I told you about the meatballs. What's that? What'd you say? I said I send them to Bottolatos Market. It's an Italian market where the meatballs are they're just so wonderful. And I write, if I bought you a panini, would I be your hero? Now, let me tell you why that's funny, because I don't think you call sandwiches heroes here, what do you call them? You call them hoagies? What do you do? Subs. I hate it. So, in New York, this is hilarious. Here, not so much. So, now they're going to Bottolado's Market. Bottolado's get to know them. Mr. Bottolado wants to sell his house. That's worth about $800,000. And downsize to a condo worth about $600,000. And he's not sure whether or not to sell his $3 million building. He'll let me know. And I'll be right there. Okay? Then, I will send a massage therapist to your house. Because this is getting stressful. People are starting to worry. They don't know what to do. They don't know what's happening. When are we getting the? Well, we have the. When are we getting the clear to close? When are these things happening? Take it easy. Everything's gonna be all right. I'm gonna send Jessica over. She's gonna give you a nice massage. Everything's gonna feel. Well, not everything's gonna feel nice, but there's gonna be a. It's going to be a splendid experience, and they're talking about me. I'm sending a massage therapist to their house. Who else are they going to use ever for the rest of their life? Right? PocketPete, that's right. And this becomes a topic constantly about that it never ends. They wonder if I make any money. So now that we're not worried about the commission you charge, they want to give me more money. I had somebody actually call me and say, Pete, I've been talking to my brothers and sisters, and you're definitely not getting paid enough. Can we change the contract to increase your commission? What do you think my answer was? I'll figure it out. There must be a way. So now massages are happening. Then I will send somebody to their driveway to wash their car. They will show up in their driveway, wash their car, and then he's got a little thing that he throws in the seat that says, "You've been washed by PocketPete. You've been massaged and washed by PocketPete." Then they get a wreath that they can order, a custom-made wreath that they can order for their door, their front door. After that, I don't think I brought it, actually. I have the PocketPete golden ticket. When they close, if they're sellers, when they close, if they're sellers before they close, and when they're buyers after they close with their basket, they get their first or last date night meal in their home. I send a professional chef to their home. He brings the pots and pans. He calls them up. He asks them what they like. He creates a 3-course meal around what they enjoy. And he does the wine. I don't speak wine, but he's saying the things that are on the palate, and he's explaining the wine to them. And they're dining in with a 5-star chef, and I'm the greatest human being that's ever existed, right? Then once they close, they'll receive $500 of free contractor work after they close. It shows up at their door. What's that? I send them Remodel Rob. I named him, by the way. I would send a coupon for Remodel Rob that they can do up to $500 of handyman work. Okay? In their new home. Now, do I make any damn money? It doesn't seem like it, right? So have I provided an experience that it feels like they're getting as much value as I'm getting, right? More. It feels like more. Here's the deal I make with all these people. I have a discounted rate, and I only pay if they use it. So they have to return this to me to get paid. So I'm not sending out 100 of these things. So I cut the deal. I only pay when they're used. And now the experience I'm providing, it feels the same getting it whether you use it or not. Right? It's the intent. It's the heartwarming feeling that you're giving to them, that you took the time to check in, to care, to do these things. And they may or may not use it. The feeling's the same. I want them to use it. It's not that I'm afraid to spend the money, because if they use it, they're really going to talk about me, right? They use it, they're really going to share it. And I even let them give it away. If they're moving, Pete, I don't know, I can't use these now that we've moved. Give me your cousin, give me your sister, because I want to get in front of people, right? So I now am the talk of the town, right? I am the special experience that no one else provides. No one else does this. So I create this unique and powerful advocacy. All these businesses refer me business, okay? All of them. So you're going out there and you're building these rapport and these relationships with these people and creating this supercharged need to share you. Bless you. They're not sharing you because they like you. They're sharing you because they want to be popular with their friends. They want them to have the same exact experience, right? You see why we have to give the same experience? Why all these things have to happen for everyone? Because they go, oh, did you get the massage? What massage? Ugh, right? That all has to happen. So what I did early on, now I have staff that does it for me. I stack them up, and I just said every Monday goes out, and this goes out, and this goes out. This way it's super simple. I'm the most unorganized human. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I can't write notes. I don't do paperwork. I excel in many things, and there's so many things I'm so terrible at. I did this. Okay, this is outside of my skill set. And you just send it out, send it out, send it out. And build that rapport while you're out getting business. You're not doing the labor that it feels like you have to do to stay in touch with them anymore. It's just happening. And as you grow, you get an assistant. Now they're doing it, right? Any questions about any of this? How am I doing? Okay. All right, so now they've closed. What do you do now? We don't want them to go away. I never let anyone leave my life. They work with me, they're stuck. That's it. They're going to be part of something for the rest of their lives. And it started off simple because there weren't that many people. But as it grew, and as I sold more houses, and I started to create this avalanche effect, I needed to get organized. First, that starts with a CRM. You have to get a CRM and use it. Everyone has a CRM. Nobody uses it, right? That's the biggest struggle, is you need to be able to leverage your connections with your audience and know who you're staying top of and who you're not. So what I'll do to stay in front of them outside of my social media presence is I do something I call the triple quarterly. This goes to all the people that are part of my sphere of influence. Every quarter, 3 things happen. Client appreciation event, charity event, drop off. Those 3 things. Drop off. I'm sorry. So, yeah, like a Popeye, only you don't talk to anybody. Yeah, it's an antisocial Popeye. Not that Popeyes don't have. I'm going to talk about Pop-Buys, not Popeye, though he's terrific too. I'm going to talk about Pop-Buys shortly too. Client appreciation event. So I'll be having a ice cream social. Hey everybody, Peter Grosso, PocketPete. Come on down this Thursday. I'm just saying thank you to anybody that's worked with me, talked about me, roots for me. Come on down, get an ice cream, say hello, give me a hug, go on with your day. I'll see you there. I do that. Exactly like that. Then I'll have a charity event. It doesn't have to be an event, although like I love doing, at my office we get a breast cancer screening bus. That's pretty cool. So we'll have like an event like that. But it could be as simple as, hey, school starting, we're collecting backpacks. We need food, we need whatever. Drop it off at my office or to do it by this. All I want you to do is actually not ask for business, but be in front of people. Because the more you make it about you, the less you will get. You just want to be top of mind to show that you're giving, you care, and you do good things, right? They'll give you the business without you asking for it. So you invite them to ice cream. You call them and say, hey, I'm doing this thing. I'm collecting backpacks. I'm donating backpacks. It feels so good when I give. I just want to give you the opportunity to do it too. So if you want to, come on by. From this time, whatever it is, drop them off. Come say hello. Let me know if you're coming. I'll try to be there and say hello. But this is what we're doing. And you're just staying top of mind in a way that allows you to be the good guy. This is the good guy way to get rich. Okay? And then the drop-offs are I pay someone to make pretty things out of the dollar store. And she just, like this season we had a gnome, and there was a little thing in it. I don't even know, because I pay someone to do it. And it was wrapped up, and it said, there's no place like gnome, PocketPete. And that just gets dropped off at everyone's door, okay? That is part of that spirit. You can do it, or at some point, hopefully you can have someone else do it, because that's tiring. The driving around is tiring. Yeah, and there's also a company, Client Giant. Client Giant is a great company for doing seasonal gifts and things like that if you don't want to drive around and do it. It might be a little bit more expensive, but when you factor in driving around or paying, it might not be. And they'll send quarterly gifts. And they're a great company. And they're actually, the owners are, I don't know if he still works, but he was a former or maybe continuing Remax agent that created this delivery system. So check them out. They're pretty cool. What's that? No, I'm not. Yeah, I don't. I should call Jay. I know him. I should call him and go, let me give you my name. But no code. No code. They're just good company. So every quarter, you want to create this feeling, this reminder that you're around and you're wonderful, right? I'm around and I'm wonderful. And it gives this community feel. Now, once you're doing that, at some point it's going to grow to a point where you can't call everybody, you can't do everything. So you have to use your CRM. You have to use social media and your CRM to get in front of these people. I have two tiers. I have a larger advocacy group, about 250 people, that we're delivering to, we're inviting to these events. And then I have a smaller 50-person group that are what I call my super advocates, which I'll talk about in a second. So you're going to use your CRM to send emails out discussing this event, hopefully text I don't know what CRMs you have, but text messages, or get a text message system that you can send this out with, and do it quarterly for each thing, which means once a month you're doing something, right? Because you can't call 250 people anymore. That's over. But you can send them a video. You can create a video talking about what you're doing, how it makes you feel, and it keeps them feeling connected. You can send these videos out through your email and text message, saying, hey, we're doing this thing. Would love to have you come down. Or you could do it like I do it. I love, you could be loud. But use your tone, find your voice, and send those videos. Then I have a smaller group of people called my super advocates. And what you need to do is you have to have the eye for these people. I'm those people. You got to look for people like me. They're loud. Okay? You look for the loud ones. Look for the ones that love to share people, and they love to chat, and they love to guide. Because those are the ones that are really going to be your huge advocates. Okay, I call them my super advocates. My neighbor, Austin, works at the Long Island Railroad. He's big, he's loud, he's fun, and he wants everyone to know about everything. He knows everything, and you got to use Pete. It's like he will physically grab these people. And he will take them to me. You know though who those people are, right? So every time I pass by a certain cigar shop, I buy the CAO 660s, I buy a box of them, and I bring them to Austin. I spend about probably $600 a year just on cigars for Austin, because he's special, because he grabs people. So those people are on a separate list that get special treatment, right? And that's how you're going to prioritize your time. You are going to pop by. You are going to make phone calls. You are going to have get-togethers with these people. But what you need to think about is what is your highest ROI of your time? You're going to have to think about your highest ROI in your money and the highest ROI of your time. If you take the 250 people that I have, and if I just randomly called and stayed on top of them, would I make more money, or if I made sure that I was hanging out with Austin and hanging out with all the people that are like Austin? So you make a list of those top people that you make sure that you are in touch with at least once a month, that you're doing stuff for, you're doing special things for, so that you are reminding them and staying top of mind and keeping that energy going. You have to create that energy. And you got to know who those people are. There are people that would share you no matter what, but they don't talk. Right? They're shy. They love you. They will always use you, but they're not Austins. Right? So find your Austins and cling to the Austins. Okay? Any questions about that? Okay. So, you know what? I forgot one thing. I forgot when I close and they have a moving day, I will, myself and one of my assistants, this goes on top of a pizza box. I go, what day are you moving? What time? I'm going to deliver pizza. And now I'm on a pizza box in front of their whole family. And because this is the time when they're all excited, they're finally moving, all the stress has gone away, their family and friends are there to help them, and they're probably going through similar timelines in their life, and you show up with 4 pizzas and your stupid face on the box, and they love it, they're taking pictures with it, they're sharing it on social media, and now we're being talked about again.
So what's the mechanics of that making that happen?
So this is a sticker. So what I'll do is, so you find a local print shop that can make you stickers. I can make the stickers for the bakery boxes. Do you guys have bakeries? Yeah. Okay. That was a crazy question, right? And you have cannolis. You're telling me you have cannolis. Okay, that's nice. All right. So.
You have heroes, but unfortunately that's when you mispronounce gyro.
Okay. Noted. Well done. Go ahead.
Have you ever sat down and calculated about how much money you spend on each client per transaction size?
Yeah, and I can talk about the cost of everything here too. So typically, it costs me like $300 a client. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so you get discounts from those vendors.
Get discounts?
Make a deal.
Yeah.
And then they have to send that to you for payback.
Right.
And that's self-addressed stamped envelope from them back to
Well, they can they can text me. I want these back because I can reuse them, much like Kohl's does. So I can just reuse them. But if they text me, I'll Apple Pay them or whatever. But you got to remember, they don't use all of them, right? So it's the average of all that they use. And the more they use, the more money I'm going to make anyway. So I'm happy to do it. But it looks like I'm spending $1 million. It feels like I'm spending $1 million. And maybe I'm spending 300. But I'm creating $1 million feel. Please.
Average market price for Pete, $5.50. Average market price here about $2.20. It's almost exactly 40%. So just do the math. It's relative to the market here. That'd be about $120 here per client. Not saying you do it, but that's a relative apples to apples kind of way of looking at that in terms of what you're investing in your people. Compare $120 to a 25 or 28 or 32% referral, or spending money on other marketing resources.
Yeah, and this is not all going to happen at once. It takes a long time to build these relationships, to find people, to print the things, to start. So you're gonna see how good it is. And my chef I met at a wake. I didn't add the chef until that guy died. And we were talking. I knew him from high school. He's a chef, and he told me that he does in-person things. I go, we're gonna be talking. Well, I'll have a basket made with that professional chef thing in it. If they're buyers, and then if they're sellers, we'll give them a little something. Yeah. But it's much less this because if I'm at the closing, I literally I bring cannolis. Like I create an experience. I bring them a little something, and I bring food to the whole. I just make an event of everything. Right, so I show up to the closing, just being the hero, feeding everybody, creating a feeling. That feeling, that boastfulness, that feeling, it just keeps, they want to share that. They want to share me. They want to share the experience that I give. So I just try to continue to bring that experience.
I'm sorry. Can you go back to the pizza thing?
Yeah.
The logistics.
Mm-hmm.
The person delivering the pizza, are they putting that on the box, or is the pizza place?
So if they're close to Geno's, then Geno's has a bunch of these. So if not, my assistant has a bunch of these. So like she will, or you can have these in your car, and then you just peel it off and you put on the top box. You don't need to put it on every box. Just so it's standing out for the top box.
You try to deliver the pizza yourself.
If I can. I mean, I did in the beginning. So what there's gonna be things that you grow out of, right? And you got to ask yourself, is this part of my brand? This is part of my brand. Me being there isn't, right? So that's what I decided. But my face is on there. Yeah. So I'm there in spirit. Yeah. Anyone else? Talk to me.
How do you reuse those cards, those gifts? You said you send them out from the office every Monday.
I have an envelope that goes in.
So
They
that way the card stays clean. Okay.
starts to clean. They hand it to Remodel Rob. I see Remodel Rob 8 times a week anyway. He'll hand this to me, and then I probably get to reuse like 10 or 15% of them. Yeah. Anyone else?
I'm also thinking, since your process is more like 60 to 90 days from beginning to closing, ours is like 30,
Right.
so we may not have as many steps in there.
Right.
So it actually ends up being really cost effective.
Yeah, it probably would be that 40% cut there. But you also got to remember, you don't have to stop it at the closing. Too, there's something special about stuff still showing up, right? It's just the logistical thing is if they moved, getting that, making sure the addresses are adjusted. But there is something very special about having, like, this person stopped. They're so wonderful, right? So, don't discount that. Really, I think the important thing is finding people and businesses that you can connect with, that you love, that you want to share. There are a ton of small businesses that you all know that you love to use, or you know they make a great product. You know that they should be seen by people, right? I want to share these people. The experience that these people give, I'm a super advocate, and I'm doing the super advocacy, right? So I would be sharing them anyway. I just found a cool way to create experience out of it. So that's the idea, is who do you know? It doesn't have to be these things. It could be something completely different. Send them, send them to I don't know. I don't know what to do. What should we do? What?
Car detailing.
Car detailing. Yeah. Yeah. Who do you know? We all know business owners, right? Who do you know? Do you want to say something? No. Oh, okay. What's the topic? Exactly what you're talking about. Oh, okay. All right. Any more questions? Okay. So now for my core 50, I'm also trying to be in front of them. I'm going out with them. I'm having little events for them. And it's hanging out. You actually get to be social and grow your business with the people that you enjoy being with anyway. They're not sharing you because they don't enjoy you, or vice versa, right? So find time, and this is the question I get from my teammates, because we're implementing a deeper system in this, where we're going to be doing micro events, which I'm happy to share with you about. But go out to dinner with them. You don't have to pay. Treat them like friends, right? It doesn't necessarily even be, hey, what are you doing tonight? You want to go out for a drink? You want to grab lunch? You want to do it? It can be a friendship thing. It doesn't have to be something where you're constantly going in your pocket. It's really just about being around the people that give to you, care about you, and vice versa, right? And making sure you're prioritizing your time with the people that have the highest ROI on your time, right? It's about ROI of time. That's all I'm asking you to do, is look at your database and prioritize how you expend your energy. That's it. That's the most important thing, is energy prioritization. I didn't say that word very well, but we know what I'm talking about. Okay. All right, so who here is on social media? There's some short hands going up. Are you shooting videos? We got one hand going up. Todd. Okay, all right, we got some videos. Okay, this is the most important thing in the whole world, is you need to be top of mind with your sphere constantly. And I think the most important thing I want to stress is, if you're new to the business or your sphere doesn't know what you do, what I like to tell my agents is, you have a loading phase. You have a phase where you're telling them you're in real estate, you're good at it, you're at an inspection, you're doing this, you're doing that, how wonderful. Then they don't care anymore. They're bored. They don't care. People only care about real estate once every 7 years, right? So don't bore them. Live your life on video. Once that loading phase hits, be a person in the world. What are you into? What do you like? If you're a dog person, shoot videos about dogs, about going to shelters, about highlight different places, connect with those places. And you know what's going to happen? You're already branded the world, that you're a real estate agent. So you're not reminding them that you're a real estate agent. You're telling them you love dogs. And the dog people will love you more, and just remember you're a real estate agent. And more importantly, while people are scrolling through their feed, they're stopping, because they don't know what you're going to do. They're not just going, oh, it's real estate again. I love her, but I'll catch up on the next one. I'll watch the next one. And they never watch, right? Because they don't care. I don't care. I don't even like houses, to be honest with you. I love people. I could care less about houses. I want to know people's problems, and I want to solve them. And most people do not care about your real estate life. They care about your life. So live your life there, share with the world who you are and what you enjoy.
Should we primarily be posting these videos to our personal social media, or we have our business social media and then sharing that business social media with our personal?
No, I would primarily make it personal on your. I don't think business pages do anything. I think, especially for your sphere of influence, I think they'll hit like. Your friends and family will hit like once, and then they will ignore it. They care about you, and you are what you are, and real estate is part of it. So you're going to share yourself and who you are, and then sprinkle in the real estate because it's who you are. So you're showing the world what you are and how you're living. And I can't tell you how many listing appointments I've sat down at where people said, I haven't met you yet, but you feel like a friend. Because I've watched your videos. And it's so funny, you're just like what you do there.
To his point, almost every single referral that I've gotten that didn't know me said, I was referred by so-and-so, and they friend me on Facebook first before I hear from them.
Right.
I'm like, well, who's this? Oh, they know Katrina? And then I get a phone call from, oh, I gave your name to so-and-so. That's why they friended me.
Right.
It's always on my personal page.
Yeah, it's always they want to know your person. You're hiring, you're sitting with people. You're a person. This is not about business. It's a business about people. And you shoot a lot of video? I'm hearing a pause.
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, okay. Do you shoot a lot of video?
I don't, but I share a lot. I'm
No,
on
you
my
actually do.
Oh, that's true.
Your grandbaby
Oh,
is
I
like,
have
he
a
does.
granddaughter,
I don't think
so
she
yes,
even
I do a
thinks
lot of
about it
videos.
as
Okay, yeah.
I don't do a lot
Yeah.
of real estate videos.
videos all the
But
time.
I'm
Yeah.
on social media every single day.
That's what's important. As long as your audience knows that you're in real estate,
And I'm an advocate for a lot of things in Fort Wayne. So I'm in the fundraiser, like charity, and a lot of people get that.
right, that's great. So now, and people are connected with you, and they see you, and they get to know the person that you are. You will attract the people that you're most comfortable with through social media. Because they can see who you are, and then what happens is they go, this is a person I can hang with. And they invite you over, and you can. Like, it's kismet. The other thing I would do is you have to do as much triangle of trust things as you can. You want to share audiences. So take those small businesses that we're talking about and do highlight videos of them or interview them or connect with them, because what you're doing is you're taking a situation where you have a bunch of people that trust you, that you're saying, here's some people I trust, and now your audience trusts them, and their audience is saying, hey, this is somebody that I trust, and you're now exchanging audiences, and you're growing and expanding your sphere of influence. One of my business partners, she started this cool thing. She doesn't do it anymore, but way back when she first started getting her social media going, and she's a dynamic social media figure now. She did Side Hustle Sundays. Side Hustle Sundays. So she interviewed people who had a primary job and had side businesses. Side hustle, and she interviewed them to help these people get to know her audience, and they were so ecstatic that these struggling people that wanted to share their passion, because these businesses are passions, that need to give back was just palpable, right? And it was fun, and she did it for a long time, and it helped her explode her business. She's a single agent. She's also a business partner, but she's a single agent that sold 76 houses in 1 year by herself. And she does it all through social media and referrals. And she does it by connecting with people, sharing herself. She shares more real estate than I do on her feed, and she probably does 25% real estate topics. It's somewhat fun. She's good at the ticking and the talking. She does the ticking and the talking. Yeah. Yeah, she does TikTok, Insta, and Facebook. Those are the three majors. But it's fun. It's fun, business, personal, funny. That's primarily what we want to do. So highlight businesses, connect with them and share those audiences. That's the most important thing that I can impart to you when it comes to social media. And keep doing it. Keep it rolling. The biggest thing I find my agents do, they say that I don't know when to do it. You do it right now. What am I doing? Hey, I'm about to do this. Hey, I was at a bar last night. I was about to eat cornbread. I said, let me get this on camera. This is the place of corn. So I handed the bartender the camera, and I had her videotape me speaking about the cornbread. And I highlighted the bar, and I have reaction through my social media and text messages. People are like watching the video and texting me because they thought the girl next to me was pretty, so they were all telling me. So just grab the phone and do something. Just grab it and do it, and don't think about it. Don't stress about it. These are dinosaur bones. You have no idea what my social media looked like 5 or 6 years ago. No idea. It's gone. You'd have to be so obsessed with me. You would have to go so deep to find it because I'm shooting videos all the time. Right? And the same thing with my partner. She's the best, and she did the most horrendous video. She was shooting videos about what happens at an inspection, and she's shooting it like through her steering wheel, up her nose, trying to talk about real estate, and it's disgusting and terrible, and she still got business because she was doing it, and she was in front of people, and the people that knew her were reminded that she does real estate, and she got a little better. And she got a little better, and you would be amazed to see her now. So just do it. It goes away. I had a conversation last night with a friend of mine who has a cleaning company. And we talked about how she can shoot her social media, and she goes, I don't know where to start. I go, you just start. You go, act like you've been doing it for 5 years, because in 3 weeks, there's going to be so many videos already that there doesn't have to be a grand opening. Hey, I'm shooting videos. Just shoot them. In 2 to 3 weeks, people forget that you weren't always shooting them. And if you want to shoot a video, here's what I would say. If you want to shoot like an introductory thing, or if you're new to the business, I don't know if anyone is new here, it's always good to build an endearing presence. And you can do that by saying either, hey, I'm new, or hey, I'm trying this new thing. I want to be in front of you. I'm going to be shooting videos. I'm a little nervous. So bear with me because I'm not going to be good at this. But I hope you follow me on this because I hope to get better. And now you're actually asking them to root for you. And you're building this rooting for feeling. And now they're going to follow you, they're going to root for you, they're going to make comments, and the more comments they make, the more you're going to be in front of other people's social media, because the more comments and likes and things like that, the more Facebook and Instagram says, okay, this person, people are interested in this person, so I'm going to put them in front of more people, and it becomes a domino effect. So don't be afraid of being afraid and saying it. Because all those people watching me go, yeah, I'd be scared too. It's almost a disadvantage at this point for me because I'm really comfortable. I enjoy the camera. I enjoy the stage. So for some of it, it's like I lose some of that endearingness where I have to make sure that when I have an actual, like a human moment, that I share it, that I talk about it, because I don't want people to think that I'm always okay and I'm always boastful and I'm always this person, because I want to connect with them and prove to them that I feel like they feel. So, it's almost a bit of a downside that I'm so comfortable. So be okay with not being okay. How am I doing, by the way? What's that? Oh, nice. Okay. Who wants some cookies? I got a bunch for me. So look, here, let me just say, I always have shirts made. I always have sweatshirts. Once you create this experience, you're going to have advocates that want to wear your stuff. Give them to I've had whole families at baseball games wearing the same. I had someone show up to a closing with the PocketPete sweatshirt on, annoyed that I wasn't wearing mine. So, and every time there's an experience, you should try to have something for it. Which is why when babies are born, I want them this is going on social media. Their families are going to love it. You send a little package with some clothes, and one of the pieces of clothing is your logo, and they will always appreciate. Here's another version. My first PocketPete shirt. So I'm creating this culture and this feeling that has people fight for me and fight for the brand. Like they feel like they're part of it. They feel like they're part of my existence and my company. I think I'm out of stuff, so I'm going to give some cookies away. Who's got a question? Hi. Okay, sure. So, it started with the app. The app actually took a long time. I had it developed, and my brainchild, had it built, and then filling it with people, and now I can put video content in it and things like that. So, I have a podcast thing too. Also, I have a non-real estate podcast called Yada Yada. Check it out. I have 26 viewers, so I just doubled my audience right here, and my partner Joe's going to be so excited that that I did this. So, you did? You found Yada Yada? 27. Okay, 27. So, so filling that so it didn't look silly, or there was enough content and people in it, that took a while. That was the biggest struggle. And then it started with one of these. And you live your life open to the people that you think should be doing this, and it'll happen naturally. You'll probably get 2 or 3, just by opening your feelings to having these people in your life and sharing them, and within a week you're going to be like, I need this. You're going to feel a need to share those people. So it probably took, and I'm always honing it. Your system is never perfect. There's always a way to fix it or make it better. What bugs me about these is I don't put handwritten notes or something in it. So now that's the next thing is, or maybe on the back having something stamped that because I used to call them and say I'm sending these things to make this process easier, to take some stress away. These things, but I'm getting so busy that I need to get that message to them in a different way. So I got to change my system to make sure they understand why I'm doing this. That I'm not just trying to share companies. That this is about their experience. So now I need to make sure that I fix my system there, right? So as I grow, those things are going to happen. And even as you don't grow, just like you find those kinks in the wheel that you fix and deal with or make better. Anyone else? All right. All right, so here, who wants a cookie? I think I have 10. Who wants a cookie? Okay. Which one's my yada yada? Yeah. No, I'm not taking the cookie back. Yeah, no, it's. Community Joe. Yeah. Maybe we can have it emailed out. Yeah. Hi.
You mentioned micro events, but
Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the micro events. Okay, this is a new thing I'm doing. So untested, okay? But like I said, we have the top 50 and you know the people that I hyper focus on. Well, I'm trying to throw like little mini events for those people. And I have a team. So like our mini events might be bigger, but because I'll have like 10 people from that list and they'll have 10 or whatever. So like we're going to have an ice cream truck be by the office. I'm throwing a 90s event where we're having a Street Fighter 2 tournament. And so you're in? All right, we got one. So we're going to have a Street Fighter 2 tournament, and then we're going to have a bunch of different TVs set up in the office with different video, like Super Nintendo, and like a bunch of stuff that you can come, hang out, drink high C, and like live in the 90s for a minute, and we'll have this fun tournament with people that used to do that. The only thing that makes me sad is I can't play. What's that? Oh, all right. So yeah, so I'm thinking about subgroups of people that I can just be like, hey, you know, we're gonna have this fun little event where like it's somewhat smaller, and it's targeted to those people that are my super advocates. So I'm creating like special things for them. I try to make it feel like a club, like almost like a secret. I have a secret club in a way. I have business cards that just say they're black. It says PocketPete Experience Specialist. Doesn't say real estate. Don't tell the Department of State. This is not okay. But for my super advocates, I create the feeling of scarcity. And what I say is I'll take the card and go, Austin, I'm giving you 3 of these. There's only 3. And you have 100 give my regular business cards to whoever you want to give. These are special. You give this to somebody that you care about, that you want to do something with. And if they use it, it goes to an alternate phone number.
Why does it feel like I'm about to get whacked?
I'm for hire. What's up? Is there a protocol where you're like, you know what, I always coach agents on, you need to get the information. Yes. Don't count on them to call you back because they're going to lose both of them. Right. Yeah. So typically I'll get a text or a call from somebody saying, hey, I just gave your number to somebody. And the first thing I'll say is, connect me with them, but give me their address. I'll send that. That'll show up before they even call me a lot of times. And it show, hey, I heard you're ready to start your real estate journey. Have some cookies. And I want to, as soon as I can, develop that rapport and build that connection. So I'll ask for their info, but at worst, I'm going to send them something. You know what I do. And give me their address, and I'll get their address or their work address or whatever. And I want to create the connection and honestly the guilt, right? So like, there's 2 parts to this. There's the personal connection and that feeling that if they go somewhere else, they're abandoning the guy that brought them cookies, right? There's a real feeling there. I'm creating a weight. I'm with the cookies. It creates a serious weight.
What kind of things do you have out at your listings for takeaways, giveaways, information, support? Do you go roll out?
At a listing appointment?
Yeah. Not an appointment, at the actual, when you start your open houses.
Okay, so at the open houses, I just have regular listing stuff. I used to have cookies and I used to have a whole to-do. New York and COVID, they had a pretty heavy-handed. So that all got kiboshed. So now it's just I have the most charming agents at the open houses. That's the goal. And then get the rapport, get their info, send them a video, Here's another thing. Make sure you're sending your clients personal videos. Don't just text them info. If it's in detail, send them a video. If you had a good rapport with them, or there's something you want to say to help get the bit, send them a personal video. And here's another thing. If you're working with a buyer and you want to win that offer, and it's a tie, send a video. Send a video because you can express to that agent without taking up their time how great your client is, they're using all your people, how wonderful you are, and often I'll say, hey, I know this is a crazy market, we're all busy, you're probably getting 30, 40 phone calls on this listing. I'm about to send you over an offer. I know you're busy, so you can watch this at your own time. Let me tell you how great my clients are. They work for NASA, they do this. And by the way, let me tell you about me. If you don't know, I'm the broker owner of Remax Integrity Leaders. I have a transactional coordinator. I have this, I have that. This will never fall through the cracks. This will be the easiest transaction you've ever had in your life. So please just look it over, call me if you have any questions. And now I've built a rapport with that listing agent. And I guarantee I'm going to win a tie. I'll probably win better than a tie. Because and when you're listing a house, you don't want it to go back on the market, right? You want to make sure you're working with a professional. So if it's close, you're going to nudge them my way. So use video, personal video, as much as humanly possible. It really helps connecting.
Do you ever give the other agent at a closing a little bit? If it's a transaction.
Well, I'm a broker.
Okay,
Yeah, so yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm charming. I'm trying to charm them. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
what do you recommend that you give?
It depends on them. So it could be something personal. Yeah, it's really nice. And one of my agents, Community Joe, who's part of Yada Yada, he gifts he's like my disciple on steroids. Like he gifts everybody everything. So the title guy gets a gift. Everyone's getting something when he shows up. But it really helps because if you have another transaction, right? It could be little. It's about the gesture. It's just about the gesture. Until another question comes up, I'm throwing cookies. Who wants a cookie? Ooh, I'm going long. Hold on. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Let me. All right, hold on. I don't know if I have that in me. All right, I'm walking around. I don't need any assault charges.
She gave me a candle and a blanket and a little basket.
Who needs cookies? I'm here for questions too. All right, I got you. All right, I can do it. Hold on. Coming at you. I'm a bocce world champion, by the way. Thank you. Anyone else? I have 2 more in the box, and I got some more up there. Ladies first. But this is okay. Any more questions? Talk to me. I think it started with the under contract box. That initial, hey, I'm still here for you, with a handwritten note, something bigger than a letter, something that has some substance. It looks like you spent time on it, you spent money on it. This is the most, this is a guaranteed money spent. Like the other stuff is, if they use it. It shows professionalism, and it shows you took time to build something just to show you cared. And that came across the most. And the rest is the building that maintenance of that feeling and connecting with businesses. So I would start with something like that. What I would say, there's a company called Packlane that makes it super simple to build those. Figure out what you want to put in there. Packlane. Figure out what you want to put in there. And, because here's the mistake I made. Hi. Oh, Packlane, like you're packing, yes. P-A-C-K. Yes, L-A-N-E, yes, pack lane. Yes, it's the lane in which you might pack, yes. I have a steep New York accent. All right, I like it. So I would figure out the things you want to have in it and like just build it out and measure and then build it out on the website and order a small amount, because I thought I measured correctly the first time and I wasn't close. You know, so like you don't want to buy 100 of them and have them be wrong. So like spend a couple extra bucks to buy the first round so that you could see if you made any mistakes, and then.
So do they have, does Packlane have all those goodies and you just customize?
No. Yeah, the goodies are separate. Yeah. So. Right. So the boxes come flat. You put it together, and then you figure out what you want in it.
So under contract box for buyers and sellers?
Yeah.
And do you hand deliver those?
No, they get mailed.
Oh, they are.
Yeah. Early on, they got hand delivered, but it costs about $7 to mail this one. Yeah, but that's by weight. So if you do something smaller, you find, because the pen is heavy. So, but yeah, you can drop them off.
I'm curious about your union friends and the relationship with them. If you do hiring of them subsequently.
I have hired some of my old people, and my best friend owns a union ironworking company too. So like, I'll schmooze with them, and I have people that I'm close with from those days that I'm just constantly in touch with. But I hire a lot of people from my past worlds, and it's a blessing to be able to like help guide people in different in different avenues. I have 2 or 3 of the people in my company came from my underground poker days, and and now they're doing phenomenally, so their lives have changed.
What was the secret sauce from year 1 with 7 to year 2 where you said, I think 70?
Yeah, my first year I did 7.
All this stuff became
Right. Because like I said, the most important thing I did was I failed. And those failures were door knocking, calling, like stuff I hated. Stuff that was not me at all. And just spending hours on each thing and just realizing, even if I found success with this, I would hate it. So it's the moment I found that, I was able to just expend all the energy in thinking about the experience, thinking about what I was giving to people, and developing that. So it really was just a timeline of finding what made me happy and what was working. And then towards the end of the 3rd quarter of that, the pipeline started to build up. So I closed on 7, but I had like 10 in the pipeline to close by then, and then it just exploded from there. And then I bought a brokerage, and I forgot how to do that. That was annoying.
Hey, Pete.
Yeah.
We talked about this yesterday at Buffini graduation. You can't find your sweet spot where you're highly effective unless you're willing to fail to figure it out. I know that keeps coming up today.
Yeah.
You've got to go for it, do things poorly, have things not work, but when you find your sweet spot that's totally in alignment with your personality style, with who you are, that also has a lot to do with the kind of relationships you have in your life. You got to figure that out, but unless you're willing to put yourself out there and try some stuff and do them not well first, you can't get there.
Yeah. And the other thing I'd like to say is unrelated. So find a mentor and be a mentor. Those 2 things should happen. Find somebody that's above you, that you can be around, that can teach you what you don't know, and teach people that are not that are not doing as well as you, or that are just entering the business, teach them, because when you teach them, you're reminding yourself what you're supposed to be doing. And you're going to tell somebody that here's what you're supposed to be doing. Oh, shit, I haven't done that in 2 years. And so if it actually helps you stay accountable when you tell other people what they're supposed to be doing, because you're really talking to yourself, right? So have somebody above you to teach you the things you don't know, and have somebody below you to remind you the things that you do know and that you should be doing. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Pete. Great job.
So,
Great job.
thanks.
So, did everybody get at least one or two ideas you can implement today? Hopefully. A couple takeaways for me. Your logo is just shorthand for your brand. Think about that. When they see the image, they feel something. It's the tie to you. It's the emotional connection. But your brand is the experience that your clients have with you. I thought that was solid. Really good stuff. So you need to think about that and how you piece all this together. And then my last little thing that I took away from this was he does a lot. And so you see a guy who's taken serious action, jumped in, failed, tried it, kept moving forward. If you want to pick one or two things, the best way to implement all this is just pick one and just do it and forget about everything else and get it going. And then when that's going, pick another one and don't overwhelm yourself. People do not take action because of fear and overwhelm. And this can be overwhelm. Every training you go to can be overwhelm. And that paralyzes us. So just pick one, leave here today, put it in place, and then you'll figure out and you'll know what the next best thing to do is. But if you don't do one, you won't do any. So that's my parting shot for the day. Pete, you were awesome. Appreciate you coming to Fort Wayne. Yeah, Dave. PocketPete's to-do list. Yeah, we'll work on that for you. We don't have anything right now, but we'll see what we can put together.
And my phone number, I guess, well, it's coming up. Okay, if you could switch that. If you have cookies, my phone number's on there. One, I live on Long Island, Queens, Long Island. If you have a buyer or a seller, come on.
We have his contact information. It'll be up here in just a second, so you can take a picture of it.
But I'm here to help. So instant message me, DM me, call me, slide my DMs. Call me, text me. I will help you as much as I can. So I enjoy doing it.
Thanks, Pete. Thank you all for being here today. Go get better and appreciate your time. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great.
Cool.
Great stuff. I have to check some of this out.